It's finally time to open some packs. G'day everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope that you are very well. Welcome back to the Pokemon TCG sealed only series where I try and see if it's possible to take a budget of just £30 a week with building a Pokemon deck out of only sealed product and see if it's possible to qualify for the World Championships. It's episode 2, at least officially. Obviously last week's episode was a 1.5 episode, a little bit of a breakdown introduction to the game, which has been received really well so far, and I can only thank everybody that has watched that for that support. If you have anybody that you think would like to get into the game though, then you want to check out the playlist that's in your top left hand corner. The most recent episode will be the 1.5 episode where I sort of go through the basics of how to play the game, and then of course there's the link to the first episode as well to give you a bit of a better intro on what we are doing. But today we finally get to upgrade. We finally hopefully upgrade and get to open some packs. You saw at the beginning of the video I have the 3-pack blister of Sword and Shield Rebel Clash with the Duraludon promo. This set me back and cost £14.95, so we subtract that from our budget, and the remaining £15.05 will carry over to next week's episode. And next week, I want to open an Elite Trainer box, but I need some help from you guys in the comments, the viewers and the subscribers as well. What Elite Trainer box do I go for? I've got 3 options that I'm sort of milling around in my head. Brilliant Stars for obviously Palkia, Astral Radiance for Palkia, Brilliant Stars for Arceus, or do we go a completely different direction and do we try Lost Origin, the brand new set? Giratina V-Star looks very powerful. Some of the early testing that's been going on that I've seen around the community, as well as the results from some of the Japanese tournaments that have had the set a couple of months early. It's looking very good. But obviously our deck is very much in the water sort of theme and water base. So let me know in the comments below, and while you're there as well, please be free and please do me a massive favor and leave a like on this video if you're looking forward to the rest of this series and the rest of this challenge. Subscribe as well, it's completely free, and turn on the bell for notifications, and of course share this around. Okay, so let's crack this bad boy open. Of course you see we get 3 regular packs of Rebel Clash in this series. The main card that we are looking for out of these 3 packs is Training Court, the stadium, which allows me to find an energy card from the discard. So without further ado, let's crack these 3 open. There's not really much else in this set that we're really kind of chasing. There's Dragapult V and VMAX, which is could have been good, but not so much now. So we have Energy, a Pelipper, Palossand, a Milo. Discard 2 cards from your hand and draw 2 for each you discard that way. It's an okay. Roly-Poly, Applin, Hatenna, Magikarp, Metatype, Reverse Hollow Ninetales, and a non-high rare Snorlax. So even if we just find the 1 copy of Training Court, I will be pretty happy, because that's, I think, all that we really need. I think that should do it. So we've got a Lightning Energy, we have Lotad, Growlithe, Roly-Poly, Metatype. Let me zoom in slightly for you. You can see the cards actually grabbing. Helioptile. Ooh, something shining in the back there. We've got a hit. Skylar. Okay. That's an interesting pull. Search your deck for a trainer card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Probably not as necessary anymore because of the Inteleon engine, but I remember when this was a staple card, Skylar. That brings back some great memories. So we've then got Luxio, we have a Dracolac, and an Aegislash. Wait, what? Where was the... Am I making that up? I was sure I saw a shine. Anyway, 0 for 2 so far on hits or even anything that we're really looking for to possibly try and upgrade the deck. The only thing that really could possibly upgrade the deck would be that Skylar. But so far, it's a bit of a bust. Dark Energy, Coughing, Bronzor, a Toxel, Litwick, Lotad, Reverse Holo Grab-In, Milo again, Shackle, Luxio, and then Ninetales is the rare. Bust. Complete miss. So, realistically, what is there that we can change? I mean, maybe if we want to be weird and play Milo, Skylar is okay, like I said. But that's really all we kind of got, was the 2 Milos and the Skylar. I'm hoping this isn't going to be a recurring theme. I'm hoping this is going to be the bad luck and the bad packs and the bad juju out of the way early, because that is not the best start. We might throw in the Skylar just as a fun little one-off, but again, I don't really see the need for it at the moment. Rough start, but there's plenty of more time to go, and there's plenty of packs to go. Speaking of packs, we now need to try and win some. Let's go to locals.
Okay, so I've probably got a little bit of explaining to do, right? First things first, I can only apologise for how late this video is going out and is being uploaded. As you can probably hear, I've been pretty sick. I've been pretty unwell. I lost my voice entirely over the past couple of days or so, and it's been a real dredge. I've just started to get it back now, as you can hear, so I thought I'll try and quickly do this video and do the next video for everybody while my voice still starts to kind of slowly but surely recover. So sorry about that, first and foremost. Secondly, you're probably thinking, Ben, what the hell is this on my screen? So this is a really, really fantastic tool that has only recently been developed by Robin Schulz from the Limitless TCG team. I'll make sure to chuck a link to this as well in the description. Basically, what he's developed is like a solitaire-esque solo testing platform for Pokemon. So you can see here on his screen I'm testing the Palkia deck. I tested this and the Arceus deck as well at One Worlds because there was a little bit of a kerfuffle, a little bit of an issue with locals. I've recently just moved back to the city where I study for university, and it seems like there were a couple of mixed messages for locals the week that this video was initially meant to go out and was initially meant to be recorded and such. So yeah, I did end up going to play a couple of actual games, which I'll talk about in a second, but this tool is fantastic. I recommend it highly to anybody and everybody. It's fantastic. All you got to do is just copy and paste a deck list into the software, into the website, and you can see it will generate all the proxies for you. It'll generate everything, and it allows you to basically simulate some decks and simulate the hands and the consistency and things like that, and see where you want to go in a direction, which obviously for me is fantastic, because as I said at the beginning of this video, I was still quite confused and unsure about where I wanted to take this deck, but now having run these test hands and this using this software, and also playing a couple of the casual games that I played last weekend, I know what direction this deck needs to go in. So let's talk about the games that I did play. I played against two fantastic gentlemen, Phil and I think it was Shay, the last guy that I played. If you're watching this, my friend, you know who you are, because I did get chatting with you about the series. So I'm so sorry if I've got your name wrong, but sincerely thank you for playing, and thank you for watching along as well and subscribing to the channel. So yeah, I played against a couple of interesting decks and a Pal Chimera, which I'll talk about the interesting decks first because that was like who I played first chronologically. So I played against a couple of one prize attacker decks that were really, really interesting. One of them was a Malamar single strike deck, or like a Malamar rapid strike deck, which the whole like idea of it was you basically get as many rapid strike cards into your hand, and then the Malamar attacks for one spiral energy, and it's I think 60 times the amount of rapid strike cards that you've got in your hand. And you've got some really cool supporter cards that can like make sure that you get them, and it ran the artillery, which has the ability to search for a rapid strike card from your deck. It was a really, really fun, interesting little deck. Now, granted, it's probably not one that's going to be like played in any regionals or anything like that, but it was just really cool to see, and it got me thinking about some possible ideas for when League Challenges and League Cups come back and that kind of thing, that I definitely want to try some weird and some fun stuff like that, some interesting little one prizey kind of rogue decks, I suppose. But overall, from the games that I played against Phil and against this guy that played these one prize decks, the deck suffered a lot from consistency issues. I was bricking quite a lot. I couldn't find the pieces that I needed. I couldn't find my Drizziles. I couldn't get it to my Ice Rider VMAXs. I couldn't get the energy attachments from the discard pile with like Melanie and stuff like that. I had to use Professor's Research and Marnie quite a lot during the day, and it was just quite frustrating. I knew that the deck was consistent, and I knew the deck could play well, but I think it really missed out on the training court that we didn't get to pull from the packs that we opened earlier, and just a couple of extra like bits and bobs here and there maybe. I mean, you see that this deck that's being tested here, it runs cards like Battle VIP Pass, which is incredible. You know, you can only use it during your first turn, but you can get those guaranteed basic Pokemon out, and then what that does as well is it means that you can cut back a little bit on stuff like Quick Ball. You could probably get away with only having to run like 3 Quick Ball maybe, because you've got those Battle VIP passes that you can go, right, okay, I'm going to make sure I get my basic Pokemon. Now, obviously, you see as well, this deck runs cards like Radiant Greninja with the Concealed Cards ability, which is fantastic. Definitely a card I need to get my hands on, as well as the Manaphy to stop any like quick shooting Galarian goons kind of shenanigans there. So yeah, that was a bit frustrating. The second player that I played against, which was kind of a Palkia Ice Rider Calyrex deck, which is kind of the style of deck that I wanted to build up for myself. As you see now, we've switched over to the Arceus deck on the screen. That went a lot smoother, and I felt like I was playing to my outs a lot better. I was managing to salvage game states and board states that really didn't look great for me. In the first game that we played, there was one of my Ice Riders had just been knocked out. My VMAX has just been knocked out. I promoted a Drizzile up to the active with an air balloon on it just so I could get some free pivot and, you know, do some bench stuff if need be, or at least bluff that I could do some bench stuff. And initially I just looked at my hand and looked at the board and I was like, right, this isn't a good place. This is a tough board state to be in. I don't know how I come back from this. But then I just took a little bit of time, I took a breath, and I went, right, okay, what's in the deck? What's in the discard? What resources has he already used? He'd already used all of his Melanies, so there was no real danger about that happening. I know he didn't run Training Court, so there was none of that happening. I was able to happily pitch away stuff like Path to the Peak because it wasn't necessarily needed in the matchup. He used Path to the Peak as well, so it was kind of fodder cards to get rid of for quick balls and such stuff like that. And I just found myself taking things a little bit slower and understanding that there are outs and that there are ways out of tricky board states. Now, granted, it's not always going to be the case, but I think it's a good mindset for me to get into early, and be able to recognize, even at this, like in this casual play and casual level, that there's ways out and there's options that I've got, and I'm not just, 9 times out of 10, I'm not just stuck, and that somewhere in that 60 cards there is an answer, and I've just got to be able to see it. So yeah, I mean, it was a decent little day overall. It was fantastic to meet those that did turn up and that we did get a couple of games in with. It was everyone was really friendly and really welcoming to a new member of the community, at least in this local scene, and also with the challenge idea, which is always really greatly appreciated. In terms of moving forward, where do we go from here, and what did I kind of take away from it? First things first, in playing these practice hands and things like that, and talking to the guys that I played with on Saturday, I think I definitely need to turn this deck into a Palkia style deck. I had a couple of issues consistency wise with this Limitless TCG software. With Arceus, I just felt like there was some states where it got a little bit wonky and a little bit clunky, and I think when you've got a deck like Palkia that is really quite consistent and gets to its attacks and its abilities and such really nicely, I think that's the direction that we've got to go in, especially as well because half the deck's already built. Now, that's not to say that I'm completely writing off Palkia completely. I will have to see how the meta evolves and how things work, right? I mean, at the time of this recording this video, and probably at the time of uploading this video, the special event in Bilbao in Spain is this weekend, as well as the Baltimore Regionals over in the States. So it'll be really interesting to see what decks come out of that. Obviously, it's the first event in response to the World Championships. I don't think that Lost Origin is legal yet. I think that'll be for the next lot of events that is legal. But I've definitely got some ideas in terms of being able to structure this into a reputable Palkia deck. I've got an Elite Trainer box that I'm going to be opening in the next episode. I've got another product that, after talking to Phil, it was a fantastic shout as well from Phil as well. So if you are watching this, thank you so much for it. A product that I'm definitely going to be opening the episode afterwards to be able to get some of the cards that I may or may not have missed out on as well. But I think that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you so much to all of you that have watched. Please be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new as well, and hit that bell for notifications. And until then, I'll catch you next time. Peace.